The subject of this teaching is to give an introduction to the 4 Satipatthanas, or 4 main methods of meditation. So we already spoke in another video, I'll put a link in the description, about what is sati and gave an example that it's like watching the inner mechanism of a flashlight instead of looking just at what you see with the light of the flashlight. So looking inside at how the machine works instead of just being outside in whatever object it's lighting up. This example is actually pretty much complete, but it can be useful to have a bit more explanation and sometimes to divide the machine into its different components or different parts and observe one specific part at a time. So depending on what kind of temperament we have, we might prefer a different type of meditation. But now I basically just wanted to give a short introduction to the different types. So they will be, firstly, observation of body, second, observation of the mind, third, observation of Vedana, which means feelings or emotions, and fourthly, observation of a specific Dhamma. There is a long sutta, a long teaching, in which the Buddha opens up and explains all of these ways of meditation in detail, and all of them have different subcategories and different ways that you can define different ways of meditating, but it's not so important to know the list of different types of meditation or to know in detail all the sutta that the Buddha explains. It's much more important to understand, if you understand even the example with the torch well, or if you understand just one way of meditation well, that's enough, and that's all you need to know. And the rest is practicing it, applying it. So, to give an introduction, the first general way of meditation is called observation of the body. There are, as I said, a couple of different subcategories, but the main one, or the most applicable one for us, is observation of body movement. And it's not observation of the physical movement of the body, the sensations of the body, how it moves. No. It is awareness of what makes the body move. Can the body move if it is without a mind? If it is a dead body or a body in a coma, can it move by itself? No. So we are watching what makes it move, how the mind gives the order to do the movement. It can be just between two walls, watching the intention of moving each foot, or ideally actually it should be carried throughout the day, watching our intentions of movement constantly in everything that we do, because we're always moving. But do we know what makes the hand move when we go to move? What makes us go to scratch our head? How the mind gives the order to the hand to reach out and turn the handle of the door. It's all of these things that we can pay attention to with this sati, with this meditation. So that's the first general category. Second category is observation of the mind. So this basically means that, let's say, to go back to the example of the torch with the mechanism inside it, instead of concentrating on one specific part of the mechanism, you're observing it as a whole. So you observe everything that the mind does, how it thinks, how it reacts, how it gives intentions, how it creates likes and dislikes, how hearing is formed, how seeing is formed. So you're watching the control center of everything. Third is observation of Vedana. Vedana is a word in Pali, and it means, there is not really a perfect translation of it in English, but probably the best one is emotion. Emotion or feeling, either agreeable, disagreeable. It exists in neutral feeling, but it's really very rare to see. Usually in the state of mind will be either plus or minus, either up or down, either agreeable or disagreeable, comfortable or uncomfortable. Vedana is not the sensations on the body, which it is often confused with. We can confuse our emotions with the sensations on the body, because when we are emotional, the body makes hormones and this creates sensations in the body. But if we only realize that we're emotional based on the sensation in the body, then it's like we're already way too late. We should have seen it at the beginning when it arose. So it's not the sensation on the body, it's really the emotion as it is born in the mind. And observation of Vedana, awareness of Vedana, is not only seeing, oh, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel angry, it's not just to sort of note these things or to accept these different emotional states as they arise. It's looking to see where they are born, how they are formed. It's looking to see how they work, how the mind makes anger, how the mind makes fear. Neither is it to allow the mind to stay in these emotional states and to keep them in the mind. The aim of meditation is clear seeing, vipassana. So for clear seeing, the mind cannot be clouded with emotion. We need to see the emotion as it arises, watch how it arises, yes, but then cut it off, drop it. And the whole point actually of watching as closely as possible to see when it arises at the earliest point is to be able to let go of it easily. Because if it's become a big emotion that's taken over the whole mind and now you're just in the state of emotion, now you can't drop it, you can't let go of it because you are the emotion. I am the fear, I am anger, I am sad. Instead of seeing that, fear is coming or sadness is coming, I am sad already. So if it's already this sadness cannot drop sadness. So there has to be the awareness there at the beginning as it arises in order to let it go. So that's Vedana. And then the fourth is a specific Dhamma. And this can be in quite a wide range of different subjects depending on the temperament of the person. Usually it's something that the teacher gives to that person specifically for him, like a question that is tailored to suit his type of mind. For example, a question that Lumpa gave to Ajahn when he went to learn with him in Thailand was, where is self? Another question that he gave to a different student was, what is suffering? The Buddha would give sometimes to his students, he would tell them, just look at the nail. See suffering and the cause of suffering in the nail, or see it in one hair. So they would have to go and work on this one point or this one subject. So that's a summary of what the 4 different ways of meditation are about. And there is not one that is better than the other or worse than the other. All of them actually, in the end, come down to the same thing. It's to see inside the mind, see how it works, and observe it. And just to mention also, it's not like talking to yourself about how the mind works or thinking about how the mind works. It's watching, seeing how it works. They're 2 quite different things. So these are the 4 Satipatthanas. That's 1, awareness of body, in particular, intention of body movements. 2, observation of the mind as a whole. 3, observation of Vedana, that is feelings of agreeable and disagreeable and where they are born and how they grow. And 4, a specific Dhamma, a specific subject in Dhamma. So these are the different ways of awakening sati, mindfulness.